So you're in Cleveland, Ohio. We always just jump right into this thing, man, and get to talking about your life and your life story. But one of the things I want to talk about in the beginning is your father. You know, I know that there's a story that he has, and it's a story that you could tell if you could tell some of it.
This is the house in Washington, D.C., in which 7 members of a Muslim group were murdered yesterday. The dead included 2 men and 5 children. Some were shot to death and some were drowned. Washington police today are looking for 8 black men they say may have carried out a systematic execution.
7 persons had been killed in the early evening. 2 adults and a child shot, 4 children drowned in a bathtub. 2 other adults, both women shot in the head, survived. All but one had been living here in the headquarters of a Muslim sect purchased for the group by basketball player Kareem Abdul Jabbar.
On March 9, 1977, a dozen members of the Hanafi Muslim sect invaded 3 D.C. buildings, the seat of city government, the Islamic Center, and the headquarters of B'nai B'rith.
I knew I'd been shot.
They wounded then-Councilman Marion Barry, killed a young reporter Maurice Williams, and threatened to kill more than 100 hostages.
And I came out of nowhere, and say, hit the floor, put a gun in my face.
If the demands aren't met, the heads will be chopped off and they'll be thrown out the window.
These were the
But
demands.
once the film is removed from this country, once you are asking that those responsible for the deaths or who killed your children be brought to the B'nai B'rith building.
And the ones that killed Malcolm.
And the ones that killed Malcolm.
That's right. I want them.
And you're asking for the $750.
I want them. And the $750. And be sure you make on the radio that I've turned down millions of dollars, so it's not the $750, but this dog-ass Judge Braben. He hold me in contempt of court because I charged the murderers that murder my babies. Now, what do you think about that? And you think I'm going to roll over and play dead? What do you think I am? Some kind of jokester? I take my face serious.
At 37, Robinson is a 12-year veteran of the news business. A college dropout, an Air Force man who went home to Virginia and started pounding on newsroom doors. Unsuccessfully, until things started opening up for blacks in Washington. As a TV reporter around town, he had covered some big local stories, some other Muslim stories. His professional judgment, he says, had never been so critically tested.
When I had one have to sell that, you think I went through all that as a joke, Max? Do you?
I understand.
All right, then.
You got challenges that you're going to run across.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of Elite Psyche. Today, as you can tell, I'm in a different office, actually having some internet challenges at my office. So I asked Mr. Brian Jabbar if we can use the R&B Solution Center today, and he actually honored my wishes. And so I'm here today at the R&B Solution Center. Mr. Jabbar is L&B Tax Services. You've seen an interview that we did actually about a month ago. So we posted that interview. But again, I want to thank Brian for allowing me to use the facility today. And I'm gonna tell you, man, he got a nice facility here. He has a lot of different rooms, office space, podcast rooms. He has a lot of. I'm gonna take some photos and put them up so you guys can really see what Brian is doing here, man. He's doing some big time stuff here in Atlanta, actually right out in the Smyrna area where we are. And again, I want to thank him for allowing me to use the studio today so that we can do this great interview. Also, he got a little refrigerator in there, so I want to grab some of his root beer. Brian, if you see one can missing, you know I got it. So, but on Elite Psyche, man, what we do is we interview people who have success in life, at least success in my eyesight. And I believe that most people who've been through challenges, most people who have success have to go through certain challenges. I mean, you have to be mentally tough to win, because you have this up and down roller coaster ride once you start a business or you have any kind of success. And we believe that the people who sustain and continue are the ones that we really want to talk to. We're going to find out a little bit more about what they do and why they do it and how did they do it. And so that's what we do here with Elite Psyche, the Mental Toughness Show. We are the Mental Toughness Really Big Show. And also today I got my partner, Mr. Lewis Fields. Let's bring up Lou. I know he's in the background right there. He's gonna be there he is right there with his.
How you doing? How you doing?
He got his fresh cut fade there, I see. So
the school haircut.
Straight out the barber shop. I got you. And Lewis today, you know, he actually is the one who recommended our guest today, Miss Dana AC. She's a bail bonds woman and also a life insurance agent. And she's up in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And so we want to kind of talk to her today, interview her and find out more about her life story and success that she's had. Because Lewis has, you know, met with her and talked with her, and he was thoroughly impressed. So he said, man, let's see if we could do an interview with her. And I said, great, let's do it. So without further ado, we're going to bring up Miss Dana AC. Are you there?
Yes.
All right, good to see you. Good to see you. You look very nice today.
Thank you.
All right. So, all right, so you're in Cleveland, Ohio. We always just jump right into this thing, man, and get to talking about your life and your life story. But one of the things I want to talk about in the beginning is your father. You know, I know that there's a story that he has, and it's a story that you could tell if you could tell some of it. You know what I'm saying? I like to hear some of it and tell us who your father is.
So first I want to say thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. You know, it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to tell your story, you know, because for so many years I kept it bottled up inside. And, you know, it's a good time for us to just start getting it out, because we can help a lot of people if we just let them know what our story is about.
What I would be interested in is how did the adversity of that, going through that as a child and coming to understand that's what happened, how did that prepare you to overcome other challenges in your life?
So my father, he died in federal prison. And, you know, it wasn't
when?
This was back in, was it 2012? Something like that, 2012. He died in federal prison. So I might be off a little bit, but it was back in 2012. It was kind of unexpected. I think, you know, he actually was a person that was very instrumental in my life. When he met my mom, he had a lot of ideas on where the Black community, you know, could go, and he wanted to be around like-minded people. So he moved us to Washington, D.C., where the basketball player Kareem Abdul Jabbar had bought a mansion and turned it over to the Islamic community, and it was called the Islamic Center. And that was like mind blowing, because when you have that type of money, that type of celebrity status, they can get the best teachers, the best philosophers. Everything was top notch in this place. It was a huge, huge complex. And all the children, we started learning from day one on what to do. And everything was always centered around loving your people and loving your community. Be there for your community.
You a Negro, Travis?
No.
Are you a flunky, Travis?
No.
What are you?
I am black and beautiful.
And what else are you? Are you a boy?
No.
What are you?
I'm a man.
What kind of man?
Black and beautiful man.
Or what kind? Are you an old man or a young man?
Young man.
Very good. Very good. Are you going to let somebody just make you a boy?
No.
All right. Suppose I tell you something wrong, Travis. Are you going to do it?
Yes.
You're going to do something if I tell you when it's wrong?
No.
Have a seat, young man.
So my father was like, that's like paradise for him. And that's what he always taught me. But he was also a stern man too. So, you know, he was very disciplined on, like, we had a strict regimen. We got up first thing in the morning. First thing we did was say our prayers. You know, anyone that knows, like, that's so important to have your mindset right. You start your day with your mind right, period. And so that really, really helped strengthen me. I'll say back in those days, like, you know, we're talking like back in the 70s. So I'm giving out my age a little bit. You know, race relations weren't that great. So if you were they had this idea that they were going to be like separate but equal. We're doing our thing as Black people over here. You guys are doing your thing over there. We don't want our children in the public school. We're going to teach our children. We got big money backing us. We know what we're doing. We've got the best teachers. We're going to teach our own children. And it was wonderful.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an American Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This $1, and if you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yeah.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yes.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro? Are you an American Negro?
No.
What are you?
I'm Black and beautiful.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Very good, man. Keep it up. Go sit down.
It was, we had a great working relationship where everyone must work together for the greater good of the whole. So it doesn't even matter if you were a kid. Everybody had to come to the table with something. You know, everybody. It didn't matter if you were a 2-year-old. You better draw some pictures, color some flowers, but you had to do something. There was no lazy people, period. So that really, you know, like when you give a child those kind of building blocks from day one, that's what makes them a resilient person later on in life. They might not realize it. They're thinking, oh, we're just coloring pictures, you know, but you're teaching them those building blocks they need to be stronger later. And that was the advantage that I had, to be around people like that just knew what it took. And they didn't just talk about it. They were, you know, putting in the work. They were about that action.
All right, everybody. What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Good. All right. What I did is what people are going to do to you in different ways when you get out of the school. They're not going to just come right up to you and give you $1, or say, if you say that you're an if you say you're an American Negro, I'll give you $1. But they're going to be very nice to you, some of them, and they're going to try to, you know, get you not to love Black people. They're going to try to get you to, you know, be something other than you are. They're going to try to make it seem as though you're different from the masses of Black people. And they want you to go away. And I'll tell you, I'll give you special things if you just come along with me and do what I say. But you must reject that. Now, you know what that means? That means you're not going to have the money you'd like to have. And money is not important. We need money. We have to buy things with it. But money is not the thing that we're living for. The only thing that makes a person worth living is being a man and being a woman. Being strong in character, being straight, telling the truth, and living in the truth, and doing the right thing. You understand that? So no matter what happens, I want you all to always tell the what?
So when you're living that every day, that's what that shaped my life. I mean, they were teaching us math like at 4 and 5. You know, 4 and 5, we were doing like multiplication. They were on it. These are black people, you know, really serious about the future of their children. And that's what we need today. You know, we need to go back to those fundamentals today. Like, don't wait. Get started as soon as they can walk and talk and say sentences. The time is now. So I really, really, truly love that about my dad, because and then my mom followed his lead on that. You know, unfortunately, some things went left and he was taken away from me really early.
Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.